Good day, everyone. So we're back on basic selling and customer service workshop part 2. So how was last week? I hope you put in your assignment and your comments on the comment section. And let's get right to part 2. So we discussed last week. We'll continue on that. We'll be discussing handling objections in the selling process. So overcoming objections. Now, when you're in sales or when you're selling something, you cannot fully avoid really objections. People will have, even if you really do the POPMA well, you introduce yourself, you identify the needs, and you propose solutions. Sometimes there will be objections, and so that's why we have to know how to overcome objections. When they say no, what does that really mean? So very often the customers no is not necessarily a no. It's really just a lack of understanding and allows the opportunity to clarify the situation, reassure them, and ultimately get them to agree to our proposal. Again, when the customer says no, sometimes it's not really a no. It's just that there's some part of our selling process that they don't fully understand. There's an opportunity to explain to them more clearly and really refine and define their objections and then be able to solve them. So we have a process called ClarDoc. I know it might be long when you're starting, but when you start to use this and you do it more frequently, you'll be able to remember better. So ClarDoc is, first step is keep calm. So compose yourself. Okay, there's an objection. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And L, listen and learn. So you sort of listen to what they have to say. And then A is you acknowledge their objection. Okay, ma'am, I agree. I acknowledge that that may be an issue that you're raising and that's valid. And then you refine and isolate. So, ma'am, if we're able to solve that objection, does that mean you'll continue with the sale? And so you are able to refine and isolate. And then you define. So, ma'am, is my understanding correct that this, and this? And then you're able to define the objection. And then, of course, because you've clearly defined the objection, you can now overcome it. And then, of course, you can close. So the best way to overcome the situation is to use a sequence of actions, which is the ClarDoc. So first is keep calm. Keep calm is focus on listening to and understanding what the objection is in a calm way. So if you're presenting, let's say, a healthy corner with Snickers cookies, Snickers brownie and M&M cookies, and they say, wait, that's too expensive, or that maybe that's not healthy enough. So you don't need to like be pressured. Oh no, what's happening? If you're not calm in your head, then you won't be able to speak politely and calmly to address the situation. So focus on listening and understanding what the objection in a very calm way. So for example, what you can do is, okay, ma'am, okay. So, okay, so compose yourself. Okay, this is not the end of the world. I can still be able to close this sale. I just need to stay calm because it's only a matter of time before I give her the right information and get it done. So being angry or aggressive will only make the situation worse. When you become defensive, no, that's not true. That's not true. It will really reduce our rapport with our customers. So don't be angry. Don't be aggressive. Don't be defensive. Just stay calm. So their objection is not really a personal criticism. It's not because you're not good at selling. Sometimes it's really just on the proposal. So don't take it personally that they're like attacking you. Stay calm. I think I've driven this point well. And the second part, the L, is listen and learn. So you have to listen carefully to what is being said. The customer's objection is important to them. Remember, what's in it for me? That's what they ask. So what's in it for them? So don't uh, equate it to just something that's personal for you. Listen because the objection is important to them. And then show that you're actively listening. So when you're listening to them, really be intent in listening to them and don't interrupt. So when they're saying na, ay, that's too expensive, don't say, ma'am, wait, ma'am, it's not. You don't stop their conversation. Okay, so sige ma'am, can you discuss further? So listen well, actively listen. Maybe you can even do a few nods to say that you're listening, like, okay ma'am, sige. Yeah ma'am, yes ma'am. So you doing the nod on your head helps you with showing that you're actively listening and do not interrupt them because their objection is important to them. So listen and learn. And then the third letter, which is A, is acknowledge the objection. So key mistake sometimes of salesmen is they ignore the objection. Like, yeah, that's a little objection, ma'am. That shouldn't hold back your buying from us. You can't do that. What you must do is you have to acknowledge, like, ma'am, I acknowledge your objection on the price point, but you don't agree. So you can say words like, I see what you mean, ma'am, or I understand your point of view, ma'am. Can I also expound on my point of view to really dig into that? So that's what you do. So the wrong thing is to say, ma'am, that's too little of an issue. You should still continue. Instead of saying that, you can say, ma'am, I understand your point of view. Can I also share my point of view? Because there's things that we can understand further. So, for example, the customer says, your display unit is too big for my counter. The salesman, but we don't have any smaller ones. Yes, I know, but it will sell more would be the best one. So if you say, but we don't have any smaller, ma'am, so wala na, there's no option, ma'am, sorry. Then of course you'll lose the sale. But if you say, yes, ma'am, I know that the display unit is big, but I know because the display unit is big, it will sell more. So when you're able to agree with them, you're able to also have a hold of the objection and it doesn't hurt their feelings when you ignore them. So the salesman can say, I appreciate your space is limited, or I understand your point that your space is limited. How could we create more space? Or maybe we can use a smaller unit. So that's how you acknowledge the objection and frame it. So in example for Healthy Corner, we have only a 2-hour period for snacks. Okay, so I can't allow you to be here for, let's say, 4 hours. Ma'am, I acknowledge that I see your point on the hours. Maybe what we can work around on is really focus on being able to provide a service for 2 hours. So you're not throwing away the sale. You're actually finding a way to handle the objection that still meets their needs and still provides us with a good business opportunity. And then the fourth one is refine and isolate the objection. So very often the first thing a customer says when making an objection is not the real objection. Sometimes when they say something, it's deeper than that. So identify the real objection by using our questioning and listening skills. Use both open and closed questions to refine the objection. Remember, we talked about last week open and closed questions. So there's questions on who, what, where, when, how, and why. These are some of the questions you can ask. So the salesman, so you have a concern that the display stand may not be suitable. So I understand your point, ma'am. Maybe the display unit is not suitable. In what way do you feel it is unsatisfactory? Or what is a major concern? What is your major concern on it, ma'am? Because when you ask that question, maybe they're just saying the surface level problem. You need to dig deep with the deeper need. So, for example, in Healthy Corner, so you have a concern with the time frame, ma'am. In what way do you feel that it's not a good time frame? So when they say it in deeper detail, then you're able to, okay, I get why this is key to her. So maybe one thing that they can say as an objection is, if you're gonna bring in shakes here, then that's gonna use our electricity, and that might not be approved by management. So, ma'am, I acknowledge, I see your point there. Although I can see that we can really sell only the baked treats, the because they don't need electricity, and so we're able to solve. Are you getting this? So this is how you refine. You ask questions to refine deeply what it really means. And then the next on refining is, once you've refined the objection, we need to isolate it, ensure that we've covered everything off. Because we don't want the customers saying, oh, wait, when you solve the one problem already, and they say, oh, wait, there's actually another one more. So I'll give you an example. So isolate the questions like, apart from this concern on time or the electricity use, is there anything else that still bothers you, ma'am? Or apart from this issue, ma'am, are you happy with everything else? Because if they say yes to that, then as long as you're able to solve this challenge, then you're able to move on with the sale. So for example, their challenge is, actually the challenge is the electricity consumption. And then you've solved the electricity consumption by saying, ma'am, we no longer need electricity, we will just sell the normal baked treats which are already done, which need no electricity. So you don't need we don't need to solve that objection. That objection is solved. And then after they say, no, actually the real reason is because of COVID, not everyone can go to the office. So then there's still something you need to solve. So it's important to refine and isolate so that when you actually solve these objections, you actually get the sale after. Clear? Good. Let's proceed. So in number 5, it's really defined. So clar, D is the letter, define the objection by repeating it back to the customer. So you can say to them like, so ma'am, your concern is that on electricity, right? So when you ask that close question, they will say yes or no to confirm. If they say yes, okay, then you've defined the objection. One example also is, so your main concern, ma'am, is the electricity? Yes. If they say yes, then you've defined your objection. If the answer is no, then we have to redefine further by asking more questions. Okay, let's move forward. Clardoc, 6th letter is O. You overcome the objection. After you're able to define, refine, and isolate the objection, you have to be able to overcome it so that you can move on to close the deal. We should now overcome by using feature and benefit selling. Remember last week we talked about feature and benefits. So you don't sell the feature only, you sell the benefits. So remember, we should use it and directly link it to the objection. And we should not repeat the things that we have said before. They have already said no to some of the things we've said. Okay, so sell it to them and overcome the objection. And then the last part, if you're able to overcome the objection, close the sale. Our final step is to really close the sale, to have a list of implementing what has been agreed, and then asking for the order. So close the deal. So when our customers object to our proposals, it is most likely that they are not sure, they don't fully understand, they need more information, or we haven't identified the real need. So usually their no doesn't automatically mean no to our product or service. They just need to understand more. So we use the CLAR doc. So what's K? Keep calm. L is listen and learn. A is acknowledge the objection. R is refine and isolate the objection. D is define the objection. O is overcome the objection, and then you close. This is a good way. Even you can apply this to your parents if they have something to say to you and then they have an objection. You can keep calm, listen, acknowledge, refine, define, overcome, and close. Now let's go to customer service skills. So what is customer service? So really, customer service is the support you offer to your customers both before and after they buy your product or service. So just a few key points here. It support both before and after your product service. So it's not just the selling of your cakes, it's the whole package of what you do. So meaning, ma'am, after you've sold, mom, thank you so much for allowing us to sell. How was the food that you ate? Is there anything that we can improve on the taste? These are good questions to ask in customer service. It's also on customer experience. It's really about the experience of the consumer with your products. For example, your baked treats. And great customer service is needed to retain customer and grow your business. So there's so much competition. A lot of people are selling baked treats. What differentiates us is really great customer service. Is we do things with love. We do things in out of our heart to want to serve our customers. So I'll just give you top four customer service skills. So these are the four. We'll talk about empathy. We'll talk about adaptability. We'll talk about positive language and attitude, and we'll talk about a bit on communication skills. But we'll dive in deeper on next week on communication skills. So in terms of empathy, no list of good customer service skills is complete without empathy. So it says empathy is the ability to understand another person's emotions and to understand their point of view. So you have to put yourself, in short, empathy is putting yourself in other people's shoes. You have to understand that 70% of buying experiences are based on how the customer feels that they are being treated. It's not whether the problem is solved, if there was a refund, or how much time was spent. At least it's not entirely, but they really focus on how they're treated. So if, for example, they didn't like the food, the baked treats that much, they thought it was too dry. But when you're so good, you're empathetic, you understand you understand their emotions, and you want to keep growing and serve them the best products next time, they'll still order from you. So it's not really just about just the product, it's also about the experience and the service that we bring them, the empathy, understanding what they mean. The second point here is adaptability. So adaptability equals flexibility. So customer service, when you think about customer service, you need to have mental flexibility to respond to a variety of situations in which the customer prefers at the moment. So you have to be able to be flexible to serve your consumer. So for our healthy corner, what that means is it's really adapting to, if they want their food to be a bit heated, then maybe we can heat them on the microwave in their office so that we're able to serve it at a good temperature for them to eat it. And then the third one is positive language and attitude. If your customer contacts you, chances are it's because he or she has a problem. But despite the customer's anger, frustration, you need to stay positive. So it's okay to empathize with the consumer. In fact, it's a key component of great service, and keep it upbeat as possible. So steer your conversation towards a positive outcome and use positive language. And then focus on the solution. So if they're negative, don't add more negativity and really get mad at them. What you can do is, even if they're mad, you can say, Mom, we're really sorry. We'll use positive language. We're gonna we can give you a special offer, Mom, half the price when you buy again. This is our way to really give back to you. So you focus on the solution and then be able to solve it. And the last thing is clear communication skills. It's key for customer service. So 33% of clients say that efficiently answering questions is the most important skill a customer service agent can have. So mumbling or losing focus or using unclear language can lead to dissatisfied customer experiences. So be clear about how do you speak. You have to be empathetic, professional, and positive, and be able to communicate well with customers. We'll dive in next week deeper on clear communication skills. So look forward to that next week. So really the call to action for application, you can practice. So in the next 2 days, please find a partner at home and practice overcoming objections through Clardoc, using Clardoc. And then share in the comment box below, how was your practice? What did you find easy to do? And what did you find hard to do? Thank you for going through this. I hope you've learned so much. Make sure you practice. See you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.